Joining us now is one of over 350 charities and nonprofits supported on the Shared Detroit platform. Paula Guthat is the co-founder and the executive director of Cinema Detroit and joins us now on the Megacast. Paula, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad to have you on as we take a focus on the arts in the city of Detroit and the metro area, particularly independent film. Tell us about Cinema Detroit, who your nonprofit benefits, and what are some of the services that you're providing in our local area?
So Cinema Detroit is an independent nonprofit art house movie theater. And we are offering two things: access to film in the city proper, and then access to film in the metro area, films that might not otherwise be seen to the entire metro area. So that's basically what we do. We show a wide variety of films, and we also do a lot of film-related events, such as discussions and film festivals and things of that nature. So film-related events that are really unique to us.
And it's interesting, too, because the state of Michigan has such a passion for filmmaking. We know back in the days of the film incentives, not only did Hollywood love to come to the state of Michigan, but those that were already making independent films right here in the Great Lakes State were really having a field day putting their projects to life. So an organization like yours, how does that really help in the days after that to keep these independent filmmakers being able to have an outlet to show their films and enjoy filmmaking right here in Detroit and in the local area?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important. I actually miss those days of the film incentive because not only were people able to make their living making film that got seen nationwide and around the world, not just here, but folks from the local area really like to see those films locally. So something like Lost River or It Follows were very successful for us because those films were made here. People wanted to see them near where they were made. Like it worked out well for everyone. And there is a campaign underway to reinstate the film incentive, which I'm 100% for. But yeah, we show a lot of local films as well. Just, after the film incentive, I mean, we don't just show local films, so we were able to keep going without it. But it certainly was nice to have. And since then, we've shown a variety of local films, from student films to local makers, films that have been, people have been working on them for years on end. And then we're happy to be the venue for them to show it either to their friends and family or to the public for the first time. And we do that a lot. So the film culture is definitely still alive, It's really cool to be able to do that. And then for them also to see their film screening at the same time as like a David Lynch movie or something like that, I've been told is a thrill for them. So yeah, the variety of films really works well.
And so you and your husband, Tim, you founded this organization in 2013, about 10 years
Correct.
of operations in the city of Detroit. So during that time, how has this organization grown? And then also not only been a benefit to the film community in Metro Detroit, but to the community that you're actually physically located in the city of Detroit?
So like I said, we offer access to the immediate area. People don't have to leave the city proper to go to the suburbs to see a film that they want to see. And we are still the only first-run movie theater in greater downtown. And so that's the main way that we serve the immediate community. And then, like I said, we also show films that otherwise would not be seen in, the city, the metro area, sometimes the state, and sometimes the Midwest. So those are the two main ways that we serve. We also offer a gathering space for community groups. We've done many screenings where like a social justice or socially relevant documentary is screened, and then people come in and talk about it, and it helps, you know, people reach an understanding and prompts them to action in their lives. And so basically, yeah, those are the main ways that we serve the city and the metro area and the state. And, you know, we went from probably a few hundred our first year in 2013 to in 2019, probably 25,000 people are coming through our doors and seeing a film. So, you know, it's definitely grown in that way. I won't lie, the pandemic did put kind of a damper on things, but we survived that, admittedly a bit smaller scale. We don't run 7 days a week anymore, but we're still showing the same quality mix of films. And, you know, we started it because we lived on the East Side, and we, there were some films we could see, but they were, you know, 45 minutes to sometimes in the winter an hour away. And the other thing is some films weren't even making it to this market. Like, we'd go online and search for a film, and it was showing not only in New York and LA, San Francisco, but like Chicago. And then what really wrangled with us was, you know, like Cincinnati, Columbus, places in Ohio. We were like, well, wait a minute, you know, what do those places have that Detroit doesn't have? So we decided to start an art house ourselves. And that it just went from there.
Find more information. You can find more information on Cinema Detroit by visiting their website, cinemadetroit.org. You can also find them on Share Detroit's website on sharedetroit.org by searching Cinema Detroit in their Find a Nonprofit section, including more information on how you can contribute to Cinema Detroit and get involved yourself. And let's talk about some of those ways that people can get involved, Paula. How do they get involved in helping the organization continue to provide programming in your theater and those discussions, and other ways they can contribute to the film community in Detroit?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers to help us out in our regular screenings and in our events. We are chronically understaffed, to be honest. I wear a lot of hats, and so does everyone else. And so if we have a big event, it would be great to have some folks on hand to help out. And of course, you get to see the films for free. And you get all the popcorn you can eat. So I think that's a plus as well. We are always looking for donations to support our programming. We don't get a lot of grants, to be honest. We survive on tickets and concession sales and, you know, donations. So we're always looking to get help that way to keep the doors open. And the other way is to tell folks that, you know, about Cinema Detroit. If you visit and like what we're doing, pass the word along. We're on social media, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you know, share out posts if you feel it. We have some really great films coming up, and you can also join our email list and forward it on to people that you know. There's a lot of things you can do for free to help us out and keep things going.
Again, more information can be found on those opportunities, both on their website directly at cinemadetroit.org and on Share Detroit's website at sharedetroit.org as well. Paula Guthat joins us, the co-founder and the executive director of Cinema Detroit, on today's edition of the Megacast. Paula, a couple minutes left before we need to wrap things up today. I want to give you some time to talk about some of the films that are either currently showing or will be showing very soon at Cinema Detroit.
Okay, so next week we have a film called Sanctuary. It'll be starting Friday, June 2nd. And it stars Margaret Qualley and Christopher Abbott. And this one is, I would say, compulsively watchable. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. It's definitely for adults. It's about an executive who's trying to break up with his dominatrix. And it becomes something else several times. It's very twisty. So you definitely, the pace is like, in a lot of films these days, I think pace is slower and running times are longer, and that's fine. But this one is very quickly paced, and the running time is shorter, under 2 hours. And I think it's compulsively watchable. I'll say that again. Yeah, I think it's really it keeps you guessing, which not a lot of films do that with me. I've seen a lot of films, and this one kept me guessing. So, like I said, definitely, 18 and up. Most of the art house stuff is like rated R and up. But I'm looking forward to people seeing that film. I think it'll surprise them. And then I have another film that I don't have a start date yet for. It's Cadeo Blanco from Guatemala. It is a thriller about a woman who goes out clubbing with her sister, and her sister doesn't come back. And the cops are like, well, we got to wait and see what happens. We'll just hope for the best. And she takes matters into her own hands. It's sort of a thriller / Western, again, from Guatemala. But don't be scared of subtitles. It's really good. It's a really excellent action film.
You can see all these films and more and get involved by going to cinemadetroit.org or visiting sharedetroit.org anytime for more information on Cinema Detroit and 350 plus other charities and nonprofits in the Metro Detroit area. Paula, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tyler. It's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate Share Detroit. They do a great job, and we've already gotten a couple of volunteers from our profile. We haven't been on the site that long, and they do really good work. So